Hello and welcome to another episode of our Ask the Expert series here at BoatHowTo. I'm Jan Attenstedt and we're talking to Nigel CALDER.
Hi.
And today we have once again an electrical question. The question is from one of our students and it's the following. My boat is fitted with an inverter charger and a galvanic isolator. I can go to some mariners and everything is fine, and then at others the breakers trip after say 20 minutes. I can immediately reset the breaker and it works, but will trip again after 3 to 8 minutes. It is random. Turning down the inverter charger, current limiter to 10 amps or less does not fix the problem. I never have this problem with 32 amp shore power connections. It seems to only happen on 16 amp connections. I believe I could fix the problem by fitting an isolation transformer in place of the galvanic isolator, but is that safe? I'm not sure where to go with this. What are your recommendations? Interesting problem. What do you think, Nigel?
So we have quite a lot going on here. First of all, replacing a galvanic isolator with an isolation transformer, yes, that's no problem there. The isolation transformer effectively does a better job than the galvanic isolator. So I don't think that's related to the issue here. It's interesting that the breaker trips, a 16 amp breaker trips after 20 minutes or so, and then when it's reset it trips after 3 to 8 minutes. This suggests that the circuit is being overloaded because it takes a while for most breakers are a thermal device, so they heat up until they trip. So now the breaker's tripped and it's hot, and then we reset it so it doesn't take so long to trip again. So it definitely sounds like there's some kind of an overload here. We know this is a European built boat and being operated in Europe because of the two different shore power connections, 32 amps and 16 amps. If this was the US, that would be 30 amps and 50 amps. And then it doesn't happen when we plug into a 32 amp shore power circuit, which once again suggests that we're overloading that 16 amp circuit. So there's either some high load on the boat, and it's got to be pretty high. If we do the arithmetic, we've got a 16 amp circuit, which is not going to trip until it's overloaded about 130%, so that's 20 amps. And we do the arithmetic, we discover that's somewhere around a 4.5 to 5 kilowatt load. So we either have some high loads on the boat that are overloading that 16 amp circuit, or else we've got a problem on the boat. Some kind of a short circuit that's once again overloading that shore power circuit. There should also be a breaker on the boat between the shore power inlet and the AC circuits on the boat and the inverter charger, which in this case, if the boat has a 32 amp connection, is probably a 32 amp breaker, which is why it's not tripping. Because if it was matched to the 16 amp shore power supply, it should also be tripping. So I think we have an overload condition. I don't know why we've got it, but obviously considerable amount of investigation is required to try and figure out what's going on.
So probably one way to test this would be to turn on and off the load separately and see at one point it starts to trip the breaker.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty load that's tripping that breaker. It might be the boat has a whole load of air conditioning, and it might all be turned on, and it's just too much for that 16 amp circuit.
All right. Well, thanks, Nigel, for your take on that. And if you want to learn more about AC systems on boats, including galvanic isolators, isolation transformers, how and when to use them, and a whole bunch of other stuff, check out our Advanced Marine Electrics course at BoatHowTo.com. See you soon.